Hi, everyone. It's been a little less than a year since I left the religion I had devoted my whole life to when I found out it was actually a high control group built on lies. But I thought going into 2025 might be good to give an update on how things went, where we're at today. Many people have emailed, they're thinking of leaving the organization, but they're curious about how that really looks. So I hope I can give a realistic view. So one of our goals that we had in mind when we made the decision not to participate in the activities of Jehovah's Witnesses was that we would do only that and see how the organization and its members respond. So according to jw.org, they have a little fact section about those who resign, and it says, what if a person no longer preaches or attends the meetings? Do you view that person as having resigned? The answer, no, we do not. Resigning or disassociating oneself is different from becoming weak in faith. Rather than shunning ones, we try to give them consolation and support. However, the elders are not authorized to coerce or pressure someone to remain as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Each person makes his own choice regarding religion. We believe that those who worship God must do so willingly from the heart. So in part, that's what that fact says. Now you'll notice there's a little bit of a straw man argument where rather than talking about someone who just doesn't attend meetings or preach, it says they are weak in the faith. And I'll touch on that later, how Jehovah's Witnesses blend those two things together. But the issue when we left is that Jehovah's Witnesses, they can't comprehend that someone who knows what the religion's all about and is sound in mind could possibly leave. That can't be true. There has to be something wrong. And so it causes a lot of trouble. When we left, it caused a lot of trouble in the congregation that we had come from. So you can rewatch my first video, or if you haven't seen it, take a look, and you'll see how little we said when we left. But basically we said we're not going to meetings, we won't go in service, and we don't want to talk about it. And the result, contrary to what jw.org claims, is that we were indeed shunned. A great deal of responsibility for that does fall on the elders, who spread rumors and lies and gossip and labeled us as bad association. However, we were, by nearly everyone, our former friends and family, completely shunned. So to give you an example of that, I wanted to share a portion of an email my sister sent me on June 2nd. So this is 3 months before I made any video. She says, "It is not with ease or with little thought that I have come to the decision that I will not carry on a social relationship with you. This decision is mine alone and is the result of weighty, lengthy prayers and research into Bible principles. I have felt torn between my love for you and my love for Jehovah, but ultimately Jehovah, as the sovereign of the universe, is the one deserving of my loyalty first. Jehovah has given me everything I have, including life itself, and he is deserving of my whole-souled worship. I cannot in good conscience continue to associate with ones who have willfully left Jehovah after having made a dedication vow to him. But I desperately hope and pray that this will only be temporary, that you will come back to Jehovah." So I want to point out a couple things about this. Number one, my sister says she's making a personal decision. And this is one of the frustrating things when you talk to those in high control groups. They have been convinced that they are free-thinking individuals. Well, in reality, every decision they make is being dictated by the organization. Of course, if the organization said she should talk to me, she would. But because the organization says she shouldn't, she doesn't. It has nothing to do with a personal decision. And number two, Jehovah's Witnesses cannot separate Jehovah or God from the organization. So she said the same thing many Jehovah's Witnesses have said to me, you've left Jehovah. Now, I hadn't said a word about God, a word about Jehovah. Again, only that I wouldn't go in meetings or in service or to the meetings. But that's the same for Jehovah's Witnesses. They can't see it any other way. You either are a Jehovah's Witness or you are not worshiping God. And you either are in the ministry and at the meetings, or you're weak in the faith, like it said in their fact there. So given the absolute separation from basically every Jehovah's Witness that resulted merely from our not participating in the activities of Jehovah's Witnesses, I believe we show definitively that their public statement regarding those who no longer preach or attend meetings is an absolute lie. I believe we show definitively that Jehovah's Witnesses act according to the pattern of high control groups. They're unable to express freedom of thought that I think all humans are entitled to. So I really feel we accomplished something by the way we exited. Of course, things weren't perfect, things weren't easy, but I think we can say that we were shunned for doing nothing. So for those who feel that Jehovah's Witnesses are a loving group, I would add that my dear wife has not had any Jehovah's Witnesses reach out to her since my removal, or even well before that. She's been entirely shunned. My children, they haven't had any former friends reach out to them, or even like their aunts, their uncles. No one has tried to reach out to them. So they've been fully shunned. And to give you an idea of what it looks like, I wanted to share just a brief bit of doorbell cam footage. Here my mother-in-law had come to drop something off for the kids. This is back in October. She wanted to leave them something at the door, but my wife opened the door to try to talk to her. So she's begging her mom, come in, talk to me, and her mom claims to love her before walking away. So take a look at what Jehovah's Witness love looks like.
I want you to think on that when you leave, that I have not treated you unlovingly this entire time. I've only wanted to be in contact with you.
Well, I love you so much.
And show it by spending time with me and talking to me on the phone.
I'm gonna go now, okay?
So what is the reality for those who leave the religion? Well, they lose all of their former community, and they have to start over and build a new one. You can't rely on even your family to stick with you if you've chosen not to participate in the activities of Jehovah's Witnesses. So I was grateful, really grateful. Kind of looking at this year in review, I've received hundreds of emails since making my videos. I've also received lots of love from ex-Jehovah's Witnesses in my area. We've been able to spend some time together. The kids have made good friends. My wife and I are working on it. It takes time. It's hard. She works from home, so it's especially difficult for her. But we're really looking forward to 2025, continuing to live the real life, continuing to be happy, not to be burdened by so many superstitions and feelings of guilt, and instead just go forward with optimism and happiness. So I think for now I've shared my story like I set out to do in the first place, but please let me know if there's something that could help you. If you do want me to make a video about a certain topic, let me know. I might be able to do so. Otherwise, bye for now, and Happy New Year.